Alright, in our third video we're going to go ahead and finish up as fast as we can to draw these very fancy metal and glass shapes right here. Up to this point they've been plastic, whiteness like that, but now we're going to have some texture to these things so we can see through these. So I want to start off right here. We'll do this bad boy right here first, and then we'll add the other ones in a second. Let's see how fast we can go with this. So look at this one right here. It's like, whoa, that's kind of small. But you still want to draw it big. That's the tricky part. You don't want to, we're not going to make it overly sized, we're not going to make it monstrous, but I want to make it bigger than it actually is, and so we can maybe start off with the base of it, once again, looking at the bottom, and it's really round, so I'm going to make it really round down there. You can see it's bigger than it is, but almost the same size. There we go. So really round bottom, and there we go. Too many lines. Okay. And then we want an axis of symmetry. Once again, right up to the center. We're going to look at it as a cylinder and identify all the elements. There's no real dramatic spot to put it in because it's symmetrical on all sides. So we're going to just have to deal with that right there. And that's okay in one, but usually it's kind of fun to have a side that looks like it's, you can turn and make it 3/4. There's the bottom of it, which is really round. There's the top of it. Sort of round just because we're looking down at it a lot, but not as round as the bottom is. And then right here it has no conic shape. It's pretty much, this circle here is right in the center, so whatever happens with these concentric circles, you're going to make an oval that matches that oval because it's on an angle. And then you can bring this up, just a little bit of rise to it, almost not even visible right there. And then it gets larger for the black plastic on top, and again flatter right through here, and there's that cylinder. And then the top cylinder, another cylinder. Where's the different shapes, Mr. Roosevelt? Well, it's coming. It's a sphere on the top. It's this part right there. And I'm working it all the way up, and yes, it's got two forms, so we can justify putting this in. And there's that right there. And it's going to be real easy to shade that in, because this is just going to be dark right here, pretty black, lighten it up a little bit right there, and firm these lines in right here. It has a brightness even though it's dark right through here, and a cast shadow of this conic section right there. And it's actually taller than that, so look at that, a little adjustment that showcase that squeezy stop top and the circular half sphere it makes at the top with a glare spot right through here, so it's going to get brighter right through here. And because it's glass, we might be able to see through it a little bit right here. That's the kind of the fun part. And when you see through something, you'll probably notice that it doesn't come right down here because the glare on the side prevents it from going all the way down there. So we got that, and because it's really round, in fact I'm actually getting an overlapping thing going on. I can see that, I can see this right here, and I can see the bottom might be distorted and swing up into this area. But no matter what happens, you don't want it to interfere with this glassy edge right here, so whatever's happening back here and whatever you might be able to see through, it's actually distorted, and the glare on the ridge right there is going to take dominance. So here's the, come down there, there, firm it up there, shadow on the ground which matches this stuff right here, and there's the shadow of this, and you can even get a little bit of a shadow right there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it right here because these other ones are going to take a little bit more time. Let's go ahead and look at this guy. This guy right here is really important because he's going to be a box shape right here, some cylinders right here, a little bit of a circular shape on top. He's going to have at least 3 of the shapes. I don't see any conic in here. Maybe, oh no, I do. This little cone right there. Okay, we'll add that little cone. I'm going to count it as 4 shapes. Here we go. Base of it down here. Top of it up here. See, we're bracketing out the sides. Center kind of like moving up through there. It's a box form at the bottom. We've done that already with this shape. So here's the box shape at the bottom. Side goes back this way, seriously. Side goes up this way, seriously. And these back sides apply, because we actually see them because it's glass. They're going often at some point right here together. And this doesn't go up in the air. See, I'm always drawing in the air and directing all my lines to that spot over there. And same thing here, yeah. So on the way up here, when we get done with the side right here, that's going to go with these. In fact, don't look like it's a continuation of that line. And it dangles in this case it almost pyramids in. So I'm going to slope it in. Even though objects get bigger when they higher, this one here is actually made smaller. So we don't want to make it bigger if it's not bigger. If it's a parallel object, it gets bigger, but because it's tapering in, it tapers in. Okay, so there's that, And axis of symmetry, how do we do that, class? Make an X at the bottom. If it's a circle shape, just find the center. But if it's a box shape, go ahead and crisscross it, and you can see that it'll work all the way up because that little trick works everywhere. So there's that axis of symmetry. We want that because at the very top, we have a circular shape there for the middle cap. That looks about where it's going to be. It's good size. It's about like this. And it's really roundish, like this. There we go. And because we got a lot of these swings right here, it's actually threaded right there. So we could use some of these swings to give us the detail. Remember, this is a study. And as much as I'm just making it freehand right now, studies have detail shown in it because it's supposed to be a record of what this object really looks like, and you want it to match up with what the object is. So in case you have to do an investigation, like they do on these crime scenes, you'll have the information right there. I'm drawing an oval shape over here because this is a cylinder form right here. Oh, I've turned it at an angle, I should tell you that. So I'm not going to look at it like this, I'm turning it like this because I want this spout to come forward. For you it's really coming forward, but for me it's going to come forward. It's going to be located down here and with the cylinder back here. So this is going to be lower. It's going to come towards me. Normally you'd make a line down the center of this cylinder, but right now it's so small, I'm just going to keep the lines parallel and make sure that they come towards me right there. And how do I know they're coming towards me? It's that I don't draw this line flat, but I make it round so you can see it. There, see now it looks like it's coming at me. Because if it's coming at me, I can see that roundness, and I want to show that roundness. It's also located lower down here, and this back part is up here. And this is where the plunge is, that's a plunge. But yeah, I'm going to have it all the way up. It's kind of a spring-loaded thing. Kind of fun. It's about right here. It's a cylinder shape. It also has an axis of symmetry to make the smaller middle plunge section. The top of it, I can make a circular shape, but then I can cut it in half there to give me that kind of a button top on it right there. So that's kind of like what we want right there. It should be symmetrical, so I could bring it in on one side right there and make it like that there. Symmetrical. Okay, so basically we have the form written right there, which is SketchUp right there, which is really nice. And we can now soften up the edges because it doesn't come to points. It comes down like this, curves down, and gets a little bit bigger at the bottom. So I'm going to capture that right there by bringing this line down and kind of like give it a little reduction right there, and then you can swing out for the base right there. Same thing on this side right there. I'm going to come down this way and swing out a little bit for the base right there. And then it's going to swing down more like this, cleaner. It's more of a little base there. And then it comes down. And it rounds forward a little bit because it is glass. It's not going to be a sharp metal shape right there. Goes back there. It's going to be like this. Back here, these lines back here, even though they're structural lines, we can erase them if it was solid. We want to like maybe sort of faintly see this because it's glass. And they'll appear and they'll disappear with the texture on the surface right there. And this is going to come like here, there, there, there. So now we've got its form pretty much finished up. And if we shade it in, we're going to get all of this detail right here. We'll get the spout right there. Everything else, I'll just go ahead and finish up over here so we can move on to our last couple really fast. So we can see that this is shaded in dark right here. It's got this, well, I'll show you that. It's got a ribbon shape right here. It's kind of like on this side we see it this way, and then we got this line comes way down here, attaches down here. But the other side, draw through, look at that, see? It's like this side and that side, the other side. At the top it kind of like dips in comfortably for your thumb, but that's how that's made right there. So when you get done with that, you'll have that like this. And everything right here, you shade this side in, this side in, and this side all shaded in, and kind of like slowly seeing some of this back here. It has a little signature on there too, so we can work that out. It's going to have a shadow at the base down here. The shadow is almost see-through it. So you're going to see both sides of the shadow, but you're going to capture light through here too. So when you shade it in, you can see the shadow on this side and the inside. That's why it gets a little dark right there. And you can see the shadow on the outside. And that's going to give you kind of a transparency to it. Once again, these lines bend, they curve. The darkest spot on this thing seems to be lower down here, not along that line. There seems to be some glare stuff up in here. So that'll give you a glass texture. This will give you a solid texture right here. Darkness. Okay. This guy, our last one right here, and I love this one right here because again, another metal object that has all kinds of shapes in it. It has the kind of a boxy shape on the handle right here. Just inspect it first because you want to capture all the shapes. It's got this kind of a boxy shape that's been bent around like a ribbon. And then it's got a little bit of a cone shape through here. It's got a massive, you can't miss this, a half a sphere here, and a little bit of a button sphere up here. It's got this long tapering cylinder right there, ending up with another cylinder right here. So we have a conic shape here and a long conic shape right here. And this whole bunch of cylinders and real flat cylinders back there. Let's go ahead and draw that right now, and we'll finish that one up, and then we should have done. There we go. Okay, once again, no side views right there. That's deadly. That's deadly for you. You want to like have it actively come forward. Not like this where it's straight at you. That's deadly too. But at a 3/4 angle is again the most descriptive angle because it tells you, descriptive means it describes the object. So every time I use the word descriptive, you want to think of it, he's describing the object visually. So if I stand in front of you like this, that's not very good. But if I stand in front of you like this, that's a 3/4 view. This is front view. So get the 3/4 view. Got to have a picture of me right there. There it is. And so this is 3/4 right there. Here we go. Base over here. It's going to be round on the bottom. I'm going to locate it mostly over here. That's going to work out good because I want this direction to come this way. It's going to be looking down at it a lot. So I'm going to again make this as round as I can. I can mark it off right here, right here, right here. And it's going to come way over here on this angle like this. So it's going to drop forward like this. Once again, what did I do? I laid out its major sides. And I can work down into this size. I'm not going to draw it one part, and end up, why, it's tiny. Or it ran off the page. So I made sure it's on the page big. Okay, once we got that, it's a spherical thing, so I can actually make a full circle right there. Full circle. There we go. Mark it off right there, right there. And even though it's a full circle, we're going to cut it in half. So there's the half of the full circle, which is also pretty round because I'm looking down at it. So it's the equator on the circle is right there. Circle is up here, goes up here, back here, down back there. That's the back side of life. Here's the front side of life. And here's the part of the circle that we won't be seeing because it's way down here. So there's the base of it right there. Let's go ahead and erase this right there. There we go. So circle cut off down here. There's going to be our bottom. And it's round because we're looking mostly down at it. There that is. The center is somewhere right about here. Why do we want to know the center? Because we're going to align all of these shapes right here to our axis of symmetry. And this is going to come poking out from the side right here, not from the end, but from right about here. In other words, it's almost as if there was a line right through here that cuts it in half this direction, like a hot cross bun. And then it goes back here. Why do we want to know that? It goes back here and comes down this side. That's right, because the direction that this is it's the direction that the ground area back here is from here to here. So I'm putting that on the ground too. So I'm actually cutting in half this direction, because from back up here, we're going to put the handle on, and down here we're going to put the spout on, and up here in the center we're going to put the top. So that's kind of an interesting thing right there. Once again, it's a circle, cut in half. You don't cut the half part, it's always horizontal. But the angle you're turning it from, that's going to be the angle that's going to make this circle go this way and disappear back here and come down here on the back side of life. So even though the circle is this big, the line comes to the front, to the top, and then disappears back here. Okay, that's what we got. Here is the top, here's the front area, circle here for the spout, practically coming down on the ground. It has some like a little lip down here and a base down here, which I can add on too. I'm going to add that on so I can make it even more. I'm not going to try to cut into it. I'm going to actually add it on so it looks like it's more substantial down there. So there we go. So it's going to be broader and heavier, because I want it to feel like it's sitting on something. There we go. Clean it up here, clean it up here, clean it up here, and way back here. There we go. So that's going to go around there, like a donut shape. We got this, we got this, we got several ridges right there. And we got that, we got this, up to about here, cone right about here, the cylinder right here, because it's coming forward, kind of a round shape here. The tip of it is a cylinder down here, and it's going to arc way back here. Once you got the front and the back going for yourself, you can connect the sides. Whoa, it's smaller right there, Mr. Roosevelt. And this is a bigger thing right there, so it's right here, cylinder right there, right there. This is kind of going this way, but it really needs to go a little bit on the slant like this, because it's coming towards us. There. And fits right in here, goes around it, fits right in there, fits there, fits there. And at this spot, end of this particular material here, and then the cone. For here, the cone, for here. Clean it up so I can shade out my cone in a second. There we go. I'm kind of making it a stop cone right there. Top, I said it's coming right through here. This is the back part of that. Oh, we don't need that. But we do need to know this line of symmetry right through here, so it comes through here and comes down on the back side of life back there, because this is where we're going to fill it in. It's got a circular shape right there, maybe a little bigger. Let me put the cap on. There we go. Yeah. There's a lot of lines, Mr. Roosevelt, sure it is. But I can see what ones I want. I want this one right here. I want the center to bubble up a bit. This is right through there. This is back here. This is bright, so I'm going to erase that. This is kind of bright through here. This is a bigger thing right there. There. And now we've basically got everything but this little spout back here, which is an oval shape this way. It's practically flat and curving the other way for you.